It's difficult to change. But I want to talk to you today, just briefly in this bonus episode, about a concept that changed my mind when it came to making changes. I know that sounds a little bit meta, right? Here it is. And I believe I got this from Tony Robbins, either from a video or a book of his. He talks about a wedge, right? How do you break a log in half? This huge thing. How do you break it in half? Well, it starts with just getting a metal wedge just started, right? Just a little bit started. And then what happens from that tiny little crack, you can split the whole thing. And that is so true when it comes to the changes that we're trying to make with our health, trying to make improvements. It always starts with something very, very small. And I want you to picture it this way. If you could picture yourself heading in one direction, just straight on, walking a line forever, right? That's the direction that you're headed in right now as of today, with the way life is set up, with the way you think, the way you feel, the way you eat, the way you exercise, all this stuff in life, the way that it is, you're headed in one direction. And there might be a place you want to be, it might be a place you don't want to be. Especially if you look down the line and you see that you're not in a place you want to be. What you need to do is just take one little single degree of a different course. Can you picture that? As you're facing forward, you just the tiniest little nudge off of that course right now, today. And if you don't change anything else down the line, where are you going to be? You're going to be so far away from the original course, right? As time goes on, as distance goes on, you're going to be separated farther and farther and farther away from that original line, that original course that you were on. Just a change in trajectory. Just the tiniest, littlest one. It doesn't have to be big. You don't have to go in an entirely different direction. If I'm headed, forward north, I don't have to go south in order to get change. This whole process is just about making a change. And if we make the tiniest little change today, we can end up with some results that are completely different than the results that we would have had. So again, especially if you look down the line and you see that you're headed in a direction that you don't want to be, that's okay. I don't need you to make a 180-degree change today. What I need you to do is just change the trajectory a little bit. Keep moving forward and just change the direction a little bit. The reason this works is that first of all, it's easy. It's easier to change our course just by 1 degree instead of 180 degrees, right? That makes sense. We're just making one healthy substitution, perhaps. We're just doing a 5-minute workout at the time of day when we want to consistently work out, but we haven't built that habit yet. We're just starting. We're just doing something different, and everything is going to change as a result. You're going to continue to learn what works and what doesn't, but what we have to do is take some different action. It just has to be a little bit right now. And the irony of it is, so often when I'm working with people, they've tried to make the 180-degree change. Like, let me throw out all the food that's in my house. Let me buy all new food. Starting tomorrow, I'm going on the diet. It's going to be a 180-degree change just like that. It's going to be awesome. But what happens is they put so much effort into making that change, they end up defaulting back to the course they were on, or maybe even more in the direction they don't want to be as a result of just the rebound off of that huge effort to make that big change. What ends up working so much better is just changing today by a 1%. Whole new trajectory. And if things are going well, if you can keep that change in place, tomorrow you can change by another 1%. Every single day or every single week, just consistently making this little bump in a different direction and continuing to move forward, you will end up in an entirely different place than you were headed before. And I know this is a bonus episode. This one is a bonus episode. And so I don't want to keep you here for very long. But what I do want to do is just ask you, as long as we're talking about just making 1 degree of change, what's it going to be? What might be the best thing that you can change today? The tiniest, littlest, easiest change that you can change today, that you'll commit to actually doing. Do you have it? Do you have one little substitution, one little adjustment in your daily activities that you can make? If you do, take action. Follow through. Stick to that little change, and everything will change as a result. Just be confident of that as you continue to move forward. If you would love some support, and this is making sense for you, this whole concept of making little changes, here's what we do in our coaching course. It's a program that is built on just making these little changes. Every week or two, we introduce a little change into your life. We have a brief little video tutorial explaining the change, explaining why it's going to make a difference, and it will really improve your health. We explain that to you, and then we have you every single day check off how it went. Did you do it or didn't you? Just the little change. You get to track your new habit, and you get to work on it. Every week or two, a new one drops into your Begin Within app so that you can learn about it, you can work on it. And these little 1 degree changes over time end up helping big time. You end up in a place that you never thought was possible as a result of making little, tiny, easy changes. If that sounds good to you, if that makes sense, if you'd love a little extra guidance, support, and accountability, then this program might be for you. Just go to beginwithin.fit/coaching and you can learn more there and get started if you'd like. Thanks so much again for spending a little time with me here on this bonus episode of the Begin Within Health Show. Talk to you soon.